So a few days ago, I was at my friend's birthday party. He was celebrating it at this kind of like nightclub, disco place that he rented out. So sitting at the birthday, and the time comes when, the loud music starts playing and everyone gets up to dance. And as I'm sitting there, I start thinking it would be kind of nice if I could get up, dance, be social. It would be pretty cool, right? Get into social flow and stuff. And at that point, I start getting these negative emotions, which I usually get in these types of social situations. Emotions like those people don't want to hang out with you, you're not good enough, classic negative emotions. And then I remember this thing that I learned recently from reading this book called The Charisma Myth. And after I remember that thing, I just get this realization that the whole sort of social skills, getting into social flow, social confidence thing, the biggest thing about it isn't in the way that you have guys who have never studied social skills, who never read a book on social skills, but still have great, confidence, social skills, get into social flow. It isn't so much about the information that you learn, which of course is helpful about social skills, but it's about negating the negative emotions and getting into this sort of zone where you really want to be social. You have no fear, no anxiety, you're not worried what anyone's going to think about you, and you're there to just have fun and be social. And when you get into that zone, it doesn't matter if you have really bad social skills in general, if your confidence is really low, if you're not used to being around people. When you can get into this sort of zone where you're relaxed, you're in social flow, you're just gonna naturally have good social skills. You're naturally gonna be confident because you're just gonna be completely yourself, your authentic self, and people are gonna appreciate that. So, the big thing that I learned from the book, which helped me a lot that night, was scientists have done experiments on the brain basically. And they realized that when the brain has multiple options, option A being like a good option and option B being a bad one, it will generally choose the option which is bad to, think that the option which is more negative is true. This is called, I think, like the negativity bias or something like that, which you can kind of imagine why it would be useful like 100,000 years ago. It's better if your brain thinks that behind that bush is a lion than, it thinks that, oh no, it's all good, there's no lion, there's no danger. So the realization, that I really had when I read this thing in the book was that your brain usually is going to think these things which are mostly negative. And when it thinks them, it's going to make you believe that those things are absolutely true. But the fact is, the things that your brain thinks, in most cases, are not the objective truth. They are false. It's just that your brain, the way that, we have, lived all our lives, is that we think that when our brain has some intuitive thoughts, it's intuition, or it thinks something for whatever reason, there's no evidence, it just thinks something, we believe that it is objectively true. Even though, in most cases, it's actually false. It's just like the negativity bias doing its thing. And what I realized that night at the party was that my thoughts of like, no one wants to hang out with me, I'm not good enough to go, talk to those people and whatnot. It was just like that negativity bias, the bad, that part of the brain which thinks those negative thoughts. And I realized that they are not the objective truth. They're just something that my brain thinks that I believe to be true, but it doesn't actually have to be the objective truth. And when you think about it logically, on another side, it's like it's most likely not true. Because why would those people not like me? Why would they not want to hang out with me? What reason is there? I'm at a party to have fun. They're at a party to have fun. What reason do they have to not want to be, want to hang out with me? What reason, or in what way am I not good enough to walk up to them and approach them? Or in what way would I really be bothering them if I walked up to them at the party and started dancing and joking around? And when I made that realization, it just made the whole it made all of these negative thoughts disappear, and I was able to get up and go and dance at the party and get into social flow and have a great time just because I had that realization. 80% of those negative thoughts and emotions and anxiety was literally wiped off in that single second that I remembered and that I made that realization, that I learned from that book. So the next time you're getting these negative emotions, maybe you're at a party, a social event, something like that, and you think you're not good enough or those people don't like you or anything negative, just remember it's just the negativity bias in your brain. It's just that your brain is wired to think in a negative sort of way. So just remember that that is most likely not the objective truth. It's just something that your brain thinks and makes you believe is the truth. If you found this video helpful, I think you'll find a lot of value in this video right here. Click on the subscribe button and do the work.